Okay, guys. Good morning, everyone. That's Business and Management Games podcast. And today I'm gonna try two new things and let's see how it goes. I'm just trying to find what's the best fit and how to play this game so that it's interesting and engaging, and where we can cut corners to avoid this kind of long reads or long text inputs. So that's what I'm gonna focus on today. The second thing I'm going to try and focus on is I will, instead of generating random project, I will select a project that I would gladly manage myself. For example, that I am interested in managing. Let's say I'm going to apply to this job, project manager in London area, 500 pounds per day, umbrella, right? So that would be interesting for me to manage. And I'm going to record. I will ask AI to generate this specific project based on the information that is given on the job. And of course, I selected the job that features all this information. So please generate a project that would fit this position. Okay. Tiled, yeah, and maybe I've missed some important information. Yeah, the company name as well. So the company name and what else do we need to add? So domain, culture, size of the project probably is featured there. Okay. Um, this job description. I think this might be very interesting for companies to check. And for example, maybe this in future, it will be one of the stages of the interview, for example, because I don't think that HR or recruiter is able to identify and maybe screen and maybe filter people who are not good fit for the position. But I think, can do it easily. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay, so we are gonna manage project data lake project manager. I don't think data lake is even a thing in terms of project management. That's of course a very specific domain that they want, and yeah. So we'll try and manage project in that specific and very narrow domain. Okay, urgent briefing by the PMO director. Welcome aboard. We need you to hit the ground running because, to be frank, this project is in serious trouble. Our Azure Data Lake implementation is massively behind schedule. Stakeholders are losing patience, and executive leadership is breathing down my neck. Costs have spiraled well beyond initial estimates. Data integrations are failing left and right. And worst of all, we don't have a single reliable report to show for it. Okay. That's very similar to projects I managed before, cloud projects that we worked with. So yeah, let's see how it goes. The business is experiencing a state-of-the-art data lake with seamless data ingestion. Expecting, not experiencing. What am I saying? The business is expecting a state-of-the-art data lake with seamless data ingestion, accurate reporting, and secure access controls. So basically, they live in fantasy world probably, but okay. Let's see how it goes. Because seamless data ingestion means that you need to have a very good and reliable data, and I haven't seen good and reliable data yet. It's yet to be seen by me. Basically, what I'm saying is the data is always like old, corrupt, broken a little bit, and maybe like 98% correct data is that's what I'm expecting. So 2% of data is going to be corrupt, and we need to do something about that. But again, that's the reality I experienced. But the business, of course, wants fantasy. Accurate reporting. This is actually doable, even if the data is not perfect. That's fine. Secure access controls. That's definitely doable and needed and extremely needed for this project. Instead, we have incomplete pipelines, performance bottlenecks, and frustrated teams pointing fingers at each other. I won't sugarcoat it. If we don't turn this around in the next 6 months, we're looking at a major reputational and financial hit. Okay, so again, we have 6 months to turn this around. You have full authority to make changes within reason. If it's banking, probably this is never the case, and I will have like multiple layers, and project governance will be very complicated. But probably, yeah, if I have that, that's make things much easier. But leadership needs results fast. This is your chance to prove yourself in a high stakes environment. Any questions before we get to onboarding? No questions so far. Uh, Project status critically failing 0.65 and zero point 0.6 severely delayed. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Stakeholder satisfaction low. Team morale low. Okay. Visible issues. Hidden issues. You should not be doing that. Ah, come on. AI. AI definitely wants to please. I think if issues are hidden, you should hide them, not show them. Let's just scroll these. So let's look at visible issues: project delays, cost overruns, stakeholders mistrust, data quality issues, and technical bottlenecks. Performance and okay, so hidden issues. Okay, next steps. Yeah. So this is an overview that we definitely need to skip because then the game will not be interesting to play. Let's go to the onboarding. So we talked with the PMO director or whoever, line manager, it doesn't matter. And this person probably is not in the thick of the project and doesn't really know what is happening. But someone who is actually managing the project or who is responsible for the project or who knows about the project is the person we want to speak to. Okay. I wish I could say things are going smoothly, but well, you've probably heard from the PMO. I've been asked to step aside, and honestly, I'm relieved. Okay. Ongoing PM, so we don't even have a name. Okay. And if this person has to step aside, probably he's not that thrilled. This project has been a nightmare. Okay. The biggest issue, misalignment. Business wants fast, seamless reports, but IT keeps running into data integration and governance headaches. Yeah, that's always the case with these kind of projects because business wants like deadlines and delivery and things and whatever and reliability. We were promised a clean Azure data lake, but it's more of a swamp right now. Data duplication, broken pipelines, half-baked ingestion logic. Okay, okay, yeah, that's basically every project ever, and with the data migration or data integration. Also, the cloud cost tracking is a mess. We keep getting hit. That's I don't understand why this is the case, to be honest. Maybe because they have many accounts that they need to track or whatever. Probably that's the case. We keep getting hit with surprise expenses, and no one seems to know why. Yeah, maybe because they have multiple accounts. We need to check that. Security and compliance teams are also starting to raise alarms about data governance gaps. Yeah, that they should have. We need to collaborate closely with them because we probably need to be GDPR compliant and just to maybe SOC security, whatever compliance we need. I've documented some key blockers, but you want to talk to the engineers and business leads for the real scoop. I'm happy to hand over whatever you need, but honestly, I don't think this project will ever deliver what leadership expects, not with the current constraints. Okay, so he doesn't believe in the project, and that's why he is getting replaced. That's logical. Okay. Meeting with lead data engineer. Oh, so we have like comprehensive onboarding now. Look, I'll be honest, this project wasn't designed properly from the start. They want data from multiple sources, but we don't have a proper ingestion framework. Some teams are dumping raw data into the lake, others are trying to structure it without governance, and now we're stuck fixing broken schemas and duplicates. So they already have a messed up data and they don't know what to do now. Azure Synapse performance is horrible, or Azure Synapse performance is horrible because queries weren't optimized for the scale we're dealing with. Uh-huh. Okay, so we are spending a lot of money on that as well. We also don't have a single source of truth. Some reports use data from one pipeline, others use another. It's a mess. Okay. We could fix it, but we need clear priorities. Right now, I'm firefighting daily issues instead of working on structured solution. If we keep patching problems instead of addressing root causes, this won't end well. Yeah, I like this guy. I like this guy. We'll talk to him more. Meeting with business stakeholders, head of reporting and MI, business stakeholders. All we wanted was reliable data from reporting. Instead, I have analysts mainly cleaning and merging spreadsheets because your data lake is unreliable. We were promised self-service dashboards, but none of them work. Okay, yeah, so they're really frustrated. We have board meetings next quarter and leadership expects real-time insights. If this doesn't work soon, we'll have to look for alternatives outside IT. I don't care how it gets done. Fix it. Just fix it. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what we have. What we know so far. Your next move. Okay, so that's all we have so far. Obviously, this is not enough information. We know that it's a mess, but we need to research more and get more information. So now I try something that I haven't tried before, which is I will try to talk to AI instead of inputting it manually because I will talk a lot. So let's try that. So first of all, let's look at the issues that we already know we need to look at. First, I would request information about project documentation we have, and I would research this documentation, trying to find clues whether we have any other issues not mentioned so far. Second, about the issues that was raised by ongoing project manager who is stepping up. Okay. So yeah, he's stepping aside. So what we need is we need to ask this project manager whether we have any urgent issues we need to fix first. And he said that the biggest issue is misalignment. Business wants fast, seamless reports, but IT keeps running into data integration and governance headaches. What we need is we need to make sure we understand how we can change that, because probably this misalignment is because team is doing everything basically. So right now they are firefighting, which means they are supporting existing solution, if I understand correctly. And at the same time, they work on the data migration and these new reports. So can we somehow have backup or help with existing solution and supporting existing solutions so that the team is focused only on these migration and framework and reports? Second, we need to identify what is the most urgent and the most valuable report for the business and ask the team what actions do we need to take to create this report and live insights for them, and whether we can do that. So my goal here is to make sure that the team is working only on the highest priority thing right now. And this is the only thing they're working on. Nothing else, just that. If we have extra resources, they are welcome to work on other things, but I need to first fix the governance issue. And I need to somehow make sure that tech and business stakeholders collaborate smoothly. How would I do that? First, I would probably try and set up some sort of, yeah, maybe Scrum if possible. So I need some sort of sponsor from the business who's going to be readily available for us and who will review the work of the tech team, review the reports, and provide insights as to what is the most urgent. Second, I need regular syncs with technical team and business sponsors over what is done and things to improve to make sure that business is heard. They feel heard, and IT team doesn't feel overwhelmed as well. So that's what I need first. In terms of cost overruns, yeah, that's really important as well. So the next thing I need to review is the cost overruns. I need clear understanding of what is the cost of Azure right now. If we have like multiple accounts and everything, we need to make sure that we identify and resolve that. Second, I need help from Azure team. Probably we have support from Azure, and they need to tell me, identify all the accounts, everything, and explain each and every cost line item so that we understand it and we can have an accurate report and accurate estimation as well as report on the cost. What else? Data governance gaps. Yeah, so basically, the data governance is an issue. And if we're talking about the data governance issue, we need to make sure that we have only one source of truth. And we need to have a meeting with all people involved to determine what is the source of truth going to be. Probably it's just going to be some sort of data contract, right? Some sort of data schema that we're going to accept and that we're going to work towards. The next is, of course, okay. So yeah, let's leave it there. Let's see how it goes. And I'm just gonna restart this. And okay. Okay, it's working right now, so I just need to give it some time to provide some sort of report and answer to whatever we've just entered. Okay, now that's the input that I've made. A bit vague, but I think it understood me. Okay, phase one, investigation and immediate stabilization action, and 1 month passed, which is fine because I took some actions as well, not just investigation, so that's all right. Hello? Sorry, guys, I got some call. Okay, actions taken. Review project documentation. Course report showed uncontrolled Azure resource. Scroll found multiple versions of data ingestion frameworks with no clear ownership. Urgent issues identified: misalignment, business priorities, cost uncertainty. Establish focus and prioritization. Shift support burden. Negotiated with AT Ops to provide temporary support for legacy systems, freeing up engineers for the migration. Define a single high priority report. Engaged business leaders and identified custom credit risk analysis as the most valuable credit risk analysis as the most valuable report for executive decisions. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on. Agile cadence, weekly prioritization meeting with the business senior sponsors for immediate feedback and deliverables. Cost overruns. Okay. Engage Microsoft Azure support to audit active cloud costs, found unused VM instances consuming budget, began consolidating resources under a single Azure subscription for better visibility. Okay. Governance fixed, called an emergency meeting with business analysts, IT, and security teams to align on a single source of truth for data. Drafted the initial data governance policy, awaiting review. Nice. Yeah, we did good. A little bit improved cost performance index 0.72, scale performance index 0.68, which is fine. I take that. Stakeholder moderate improvement of morale, which is good, and team morale improving as well. Because we have clear, focused, and reduced firefighting. That should be the case. New challenges and next steps. While working on the priority customer credit risk analysis report, the team discovered that some critical transaction data is missing from the lake. Okay, so we don't have the data. Do you want to investigate the missing data issue now or continue pushing forward with building the report using available data? This could backfire later, so we would definitely investigate this. Okay. So first we need to investigate this unforeseen tech issue. We need the team to do the investigation, assess the impact, and suggest ways to fix it. Okay, so yeah, we need the team to look at that for sure. Stakeholder, a senior compliance officer refuses to approve the new data governance model, citing unresolved security concerns. That's really important. So we meet senior compliance officer and gather info on unresolved security concerns. We need to understand how critical they are. We can postpone the fix and some sort of tech specs as to what needs doing. Yeah, so compliance is basically we just have to do it. We cannot not do it, right? Because then we will not be compliant, and we're risking facing huge fines or facing like inability to even work as a bank. And for banks, compliance is a critical issue. So we need to collaborate closely with this compliance officer to make sure that we have no unresolved security concerns whatsoever. Cost investigation. Microsoft's cost audit flagged third-party integrations with unknown expenses. Wow. So third-party integrations with unknown expenses, we definitely definitely not stopping them first. We investigate what they are and then decide how critical they are for the project. So we can't just like stop them immediately because something might break, some other functionality that we're using might break just because we can't just stop them because we don't like them. We need to make sure first, we need to make sure nothing breaks uh, before we stop them, because if something breaks, then we need to understand what exactly and what is the implication of that. Okay, so we have 5 actions remaining, and we have this reviewed project documentation, identified missing governance policies on conflicting documentation, cost reports showed uncontrolled services. Yeah, multiple versions of data ingestion frameworks with no clear ownership. So on data ingestion frameworks. Uh, why is that, basically? So with data ingestion frameworks, we need to understand why do we have multiple data ingestion frameworks? Who is using them? And can they use single data ingestion framework because it will simplify things for us? And most probably it will be much more accurate. And so basically, we can't uh, like bend the knee to everyone who wants to ingest some data. We need some sort of clear um, data ingestion framework, and we need to share it with everyone. And people who work with us, they have to prepare their data so that they can ingest it via our tool. Yeah, so there is no need for multiple ways to ingest data. Um, okay, so cost. We will review what happened. Multiple versions of data ingestion framework. We need to investigate that further. Okay. The team is overloaded maintaining old system while also building new data lake. So with this, can we? We probably need some help with maintenance of existing solution while we're doing this new thing. Do we have some sort of L3, L4 support? You know, we are probably L4, but maybe we have L2, L3 support probably. Do we have L2, L3 support teams who might step in and resolve on like majority of ongoing issues for us? Can we bring contractors for the to help us with ongoing support? Yeah, so basically we need to ask sponsors what is the best way to tackle this problem. Because we can probably just get contractors and they might help us. Um for example, we can bring 3 contractors for 6 months who would help us with maintaining ongoing solution, with ongoing maintenance of the solution. And we need to prepare change request with the above and business as the project sponsor or steer? Well, what's the best way? Do it. Or we might do nothing and then project takes longer. So that's another option. We can just use existing resources, and then the project takes longer. But I don't want the team to be overloaded, because if the team is overloaded, they burn out, and we might have a lot of issues with that. No clear alignment on the most urgent reports needed. So 6, we need some sort of portfolio management where we have or um, to help identify reports, priorities. I would say priorities. Yeah, so basically we need some sort of portfolio management or product management framework to help identify priorities with reports to deliver. If business stakeholders argue about what reports we need to work on first and what features we need to deliver first, we need some sort of governance framework in the product side of things. Maybe we need a product owner who is capable of gathering all this information, all these inputs from business stakeholders, processing them, and providing priorities for us. So maybe PO can be assigned to the project. Maybe we can have a committee responsible for setting priorities. If we don't have strategy, first thing we need to escalate to sponsors of the project. Yeah, so basically, first thing we need to have is the strategy. Why we're doing things we're doing. What are the outcomes we're trying to achieve for the business? Based on the strategy, we will have some goals. And based on these goals, we will have priorities provided by business stakeholders. If we don't have strategy, we can't do that. If we don't have goals, we can't set priorities because people will just argue and we will just do uh, things for someone who yells the most, basically, or shouts the most, which is not the good way to prioritize and focus resources. Okay, so we focus on agile cadence and cost overruns. Governance is business analyst, yeah, and waiting review. Okay, so let's go with the next section, and let's see how it goes. So investigating the missing transaction data issue, the team analyzed ingestion logs and found that transaction data from legacy systems was not mapped correctly during ingestion. Oh, that's bad. So basically, we ingested some data that wasn't mapped correctly, and it might compromise the whole data ingested. Uh-huh. But no monitoring alerts were set up to catch them. Oh, okay, so we don't have... we need better monitoring in place. All financial reports, including the priority, are unreliable. AGA. So we definitely need to fix this. Set up automated ingestion validation and error handling process to prevent silent failures. Yes. Yeah, we need better monitoring. That's for sure. Meet with senior compliance officer on security concerns. So let's do one by one. Ingested and missing transaction data issue. This is huge. because if the data is unreliable, there is no point in even providing reports. So we need to fix first investigated the missing transaction data issue. We definitely need to improve clearing and implement solution team suggested. We also need to fix the data we have ingested so far. We need to add all of that in scope of the project, and we need to assess the impact and try to rework the plan. If we have high-level schedule, we need to adjust it accordingly. If we don't, we need to build one. Okay. So yeah, this solves this issue, so that's fine. We just need to assess the impact of that and maybe, yeah, yeah, it's tough, but maybe we need some additional resources because if we're just setting scope to the project right now, and this probably will impact schedule, will impact cost, and we need to do something about that. Meet with senior compliance officer on security concerns. Met. The officer flagged inadequate encryption for PII data and lack of role-based access controls on the data lake. Inadequate encryption for PII data means that any developer that goes to whatever database or whatever else just sees the customer data which is not encrypted, which is basically a violation of at least GDPR, but probably something else as well. So we need to include um, data encryption for PII data and yeah, and do that as soon as possible to avoid data breaches. Yeah, or data leakage. Uh, Role-based access is also is also urgent. But maybe we can just like in terms of role-based access to data, we can just identify who has access to customer data and to PII. And if we are okay with that, if people who are capable of accessing this data right now have the security clearance for that, then we're good. So we need that later, but maybe we can have some sort of just administrator role who sees the PII and all others who don't see. Or maybe we have different environments and production environment is all only seen by senior like engineers who has security clearance, and everyone else does not have this security clearance, but they can't access because of the environment's limitations. So yeah, um, somehow do that later or break into small steps, like for example, just give access to PII data to employees with and revoke tweet from everybody else. So maybe we can have two roles for now. Admin, access to PII. But we need the team to help uh, with solution. Because maybe this doesn't work. Maybe like business stakeholders need access to this PII data. Maybe, I don't know, customer support needs this access, for example. Probably they do. So we need to make sure. Regulatory audits are coming in Q2, and failing compliance could force a project shutdown. Yeah, that's decision needed. Can the security fixes be done in parallel with development, or do they require a full stop on progress? I don't see why they require full stop of progress at all. This is just like DevOps or SRE stuff that can be done in parallel. I hope the team can do that in parallel. But it became that, yeah, the situation became much worse because we are adding scope again to the project, and we were far behind already. So, but this is that's life, guys. Yeah, that's just life. Investigated the third-party integrations with unknown costs, and I've seen that as well, in my life. And in worst case scenario, we spoke with everybody in the business, and no one knows what they are and what this is, and if you shut it down, no one knows what's happening then, because maybe this functionality was developed 15 years ago and people don't work are not with the business anymore, for example, and you have to even like try and find someone who is like in the business for 13, 15 years. Maybe they can have some sort of clues, or you think that you're a detective at this point. You need to really investigate this issue and find someone who can at least like have an idea of what this might be. So, found two services built under different departments that nobody claimed ownership of. Then we need to stop that. Okay. One service was critical, handling external credit data ingestion. One service was redundant, duplicated existing Azure features. Shut down only the redundant service, saving 25K per month. Oh wow, that's a huge saving. That's good. So yeah, we've tackled this one really really well. Data ingestion frameworks, multiple approaches identifying. Different teams build their own ingestion pipelines instead of standardizing one on one. Yeah, that's not good. The business was providing data in various formats, forcing engineers to adjust for each case. No, this is not the right way. One ingestion framework. Yay! Require data providers to conform instead of adapting to them. Yay! That's good. That's good. Let's do that. Explore additional help for legacy system maintenance. Current state. IT ops handles some L2, L3 tickets, but most fall back to engineers slowing down progress. Options. Hire contractors. Outsource to a managed service provider. Do nothing and accept delays. Awaiting sponsors' decisions on preferred approach. So we're just waiting. Okay. Escalated need for portfolio management framework for priorities. No clear ownership of which reports are the most valuable. Propose assigning a product owner or creating a committee of business stakeholders to define priorities. Sponsor response. The idea was well received, but no immediate decision. Next step. Formalize the request and get business sign off. Okay. Project status update. So we're still there. Cost optimization, improving financials, still behind, but progress accelerating. Stakeholder sentiment. Happy with the cost savings, compliance is a risk. Yeah, we need to solve this compliance issue because this one is big. Team morale improving, clear direction, but security concerns slow things down. Okay. New challenges. Security fixes vs development. Security teams say the project is non-compliant, but halting development could push delivery back 3+ months. That's expected. Vendor resistance on standardized ingestion framework. Some data providers refuse to conform to the new ingestion requirements. Force compliance, negotiate exceptions, or delay standardization. Yeah, we need to work with that for sure because, okay, yeah, still unresolved. No clear single source of truth for the governance. Teams are still using different versions of the same data, creating conflicts. Next steps, how do we enforce a strict SSOT approach? Yeah, nice. I tried this to be hard, you know, because the previous runs of the game were too easy, two previous runs, and I tried to make it harder this time. And it is harder now, guys. It is harder. Yeah, and that's more like life. So I'm really excited, really excited. Product management still not confirmed. No clear business sign-off yet on assigning a PO or creating a prioritization framework. Okay, so we don't have this sign-off. Should we escalate this further or wait? Okay, next move. Yeah. So what are we gonna do next? Missing transaction data issue. This we definitely need to fix that. So we are doing one for sure. We are fixing that. Senior compliance officer. We are doing that for sure. We cannot not do that. We can't skip that. We need to be compliant. We have to be compliant. We must be compliant. Third-party integrations with unknown costs. This is now resolved. Nice. Okay. So this is now resolved, which is huge. Data ingestion from us. Multiple approaches identified. One ingestion framework require data providers to confirm instead of adopting them. Let's look at that issue now. Number 4. Um, Vendor resistance on standardized existing framework. So for the standardized ingestion framework, standardized, yeah, ingestion framework. So for this issue, basically, we have us and we have the vendor of the data that they ingest, right? So we can solve on our side, we can solve on their side, or we can meet in the middle. That's fine as well. So basically, we need to check why they can't use standardized framework. What is the reason for that? Maybe, for example, um, they can solve this on their side, but they need some money for that because they will hire whatever a technical team to do it for us. Or maybe we can create a separate tool that would somehow morph this data that they are ingesting to conform with the standardized ingestion framework on our side. So basically, they will send the data. Um, yeah, but I would prefer this to be sent via some sort of API. That's the issue with the banks that I hate. That they are still using some sort of files that have to be processed, and they are sending them via SFTP, and you receive this file, and it's crazy, and the data is bad, and you know. So I would prefer them to just use an API, and yeah, it's the issue is so complex. This one, but okay, let's figure out how we're gonna resolve that one. So first, work with each vendor of the to identify why they want to conform. Um, So we need to understand whether we have carrots, as Trump says right now, right? Uh, Whether we can negotiate with them that they are going to conform. Because I expect us to be a huge bank, right? They probably want to work with us, and probably we are big client of them, you know. Uh, so yeah, I would suspect. So also we need to work with procurement or whoever is responsible for contract management with these vendors. We need to review contracts and find out whether we have some leverage negotiating conformance to our new standard. So if we can negotiate conformance and say, guys, if you don't do our way, it's our way or highway. And if we are a huge client of theirs, then probably they would say, okay, we'll do that. If we don't have leverage, because this is a critical partner for us and we just have to have their data, we need this data on board, then we will probably just um, compromise and do some stuff on our side. For cases where we can't force them to use our new standard, we might look at um, some sort of, yeah, some sort of feature to morph data into the format we accept. Yeah, so basically they will send it over to us and then we'll morph into the format that we accept and still use our data ingestion framework. Okay, this should do. I don't think we need to do anything else with that regard. Force compliant negotiate exceptions for delay standardization. Yeah, so we're basically forcing compliance and negotiating exceptions if needed. Governance alignment still unresolved. No clear single source of truth. Teams are still using different versions of the same data. So governance alignment, and if I understand correctly, that's data governance. So for data governance alignment, to we need to arrange a series of meetings with key stakeholders where we discuss this issue and the way and figure out the way to use figure out the way to use single source of truth. So basically, with governance alignment, we can't just use 5 different data sets and hope that everything will work. It won't work. That's impossible. So we need single source of truth, one source of truth. How do we do that? We need to collaborate with teams and figure out why they use whatever they use, and maybe we can define what is the source of truth for us, and then we can actually do something about it. Product management still not confirmed. No clear business sign off yet on assigning a PO or creating a prioritization framework. Okay. So for this, should we escalate this further or wait? We definitely won't wait. Um, and that's six product management. Mm, we need to escalate it again, and prepare the some sort of description of outcomes of not doing that. So if we fail to understand what is the most urgent thing to do, then probably in 6 months we will deliver whatever we can deliver instead of whatever business needs. That's always the case. If, for example, you are working on um, some sort of set of features and you don't have proper product management in place, or maybe some sort of governance where people can explain how these or that feature supports company strategy or product strategy, then what happens is team decides to work on whatever is easier for them to work on, whatever is clear. Very often, it's not whatever brings the most value, and we need to make sure that we bring the most value. Okay, so let's do another round, and let's see how it goes. So fix missing transaction data, improved monitoring, and what did we do? We implemented automated validation and alerting for ingestion failures. Re-ingested historical transaction data to correct gaps, improving data accuracy. Yay! The high priority customer credit risk report now has 85% data accuracy, up from 60%. Still, 85% is not that great, to be honest. I would expect maybe something like 98%. Then it's probably reliable. Project plan adjustment. Schedule extended by 3 to optimize data fixes. Revised project management plan delivered to stakeholders. High level talent now accounts for ingestion delays and fixes. Okay. Implemented data encryption, role based access. Okay. Now we have this encryption in place, and for the PII data storage, two roles, PII access, no PII access. Yeah, and it worked, right? Temporary satisfied. Okay, nice. Temporary satisfied is much better than nothing. But then on full RBAC model later. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me. Of course, we will create broad-based access in future to make sure that every person in the company has the right access to the PIA data. That's completely logical, but it's not critical for the project success, if I understand correctly. So we managed to save some like time, effort, and resources, which is good. Some concerns from losing access to key data sets. They shouldn't be, because they don't have to access PII data to do their work, because they can just have mock data and work on mock data and work with that. They should not, yeah, they should not have concerns. Plan for full role based. Of course, this is not convenient. So if we're talking like real stuff, right? Imagine you have let's say 1,000 real customers with real data, and you see issues with that data immediately when you are trying to do your work. Or instead, you have 20 mock customers with the data, just random data. In a lot of cases, it's much easier to work with real customer data, because you see gaps, you see everything uh, immediately. And you don't see that until you start um, releasing the software, and you start looking at how this software interacts with actual data. So, of course, it poses some inconvenience, but from compliance perspective, this is much safer. So we just have to do it. Plan for role-based access structure without disrupting work. Yeah, so we need to do that, but later. Standardized suggestion framework and vendor compliance negotiations. Okay. Held negotiation meetings with vendors to push for data format standardization. Reviewed contracts with procurement. 2 out of 5 vendors are contractually obliged to comply. 3 are not. So we can force 2 of them, but we can't force 3 of them. And we have this data transformation middleware to auto-adjust non-compliant data format. So we have that. Okay. We don't have conflicts. We have reduced custom pipeline work by 40%. That's good. New standards enforced where possible, automated handling where not. Okay, so we managed to save some of the effort there as well. Hopefully, maybe at least CPI, but maybe SPI as well should improve. Governance alignment, single source of truth. 2 stakeholder alignment meetings agreed on Azure Data Lake as central repository. Yay, that's really good. Business and IT still disagree on data validation ownership. So who owns data validation? That's strange. IT should probably own, but yeah. Clear data ownership rules between business analysts and IT. Okay, I need to look at that further because I don't understand uh, what is the data ownership here. What is it about? Escalated product management issue to sponsors. Presented risk of not having structured prioritization. Sponsors assigned a temporary PO to oversee report prioritization. Okay, we have temporary PO. That's much better than nothing. Business now has a single point of accountability for reporting needs. Yeah, so that's really good. I hope this person will step in and actually help us. But this is a very, very tough role. And this person will struggle. I will definitely support this person a lot. Okay, so CPI improved a little bit, and SPI also improved a little bit, which is, yeah, we are catching up, but still delayed. Okay, yeah, that's logical. We had a lot of issues unfolding, so let's see how it goes. Just as things start to improve, major executive stakeholder intervenes with an unreasonable request. Senior VP demanded, I don't care about your technical constraints or project delays. I need full real-time financial reporting across all business units immediately. Our competitors have it, and I expect it by the next board meeting in 30 days. Make it happen, or this project is irrelevant. If I understand correctly, means that the project is irrelevant, means it's going to be closed. Okay. Key issues with the demand. Real-time reporting was never in scope. This would require a major architectural shift. Okay, so we just can't do it technically. Data lake ingestion is batch-based. So we ingest data in batches, we don't have any API that can, like, we have a real-time streaming. Okay. Team capacity is already tight, and shifting focus could delay all other work. Failure to deliver can erode stakeholder confidence. Yeah. And we have 3 actions remaining. Okay. Yeah. I feel pressure, guys. I really feel pressure managing this project, which is good. That's exactly how you should feel if you are a project manager on a complex project. You need to feel pressured. Okay, I don't care about your technical constraints or project delays. I need a full real-time financial reporting across all business units immediately. Our competitors have it, and I expect it by the next board meeting in 30 days. Make it happen, or this project is irrelevant. Okay. So first, I need to discuss this further with this issue, right? This request with senior VP. Mm, actually, I will just talk instead of writing. I will talk. Okay. So first things first, we need to discuss this issue further with senior VP. And yeah, he is a bit blunt, but okay. So basically, we need myself, the senior VP, and business analyst on this meeting first, where we would discuss how exactly this is going to be implemented. We will tell him that this is a great idea and we understand the importance of it, but we need to make sure that we fully understand what exactly he is talking about when he's talking about real-time financial reporting. Maybe he can provide some examples of how this works with competitors, and he needs to provide the detailed description of what exactly he's doing. If his request is valid and it provides huge value for the business, then maybe we need to think about the change request where we would um, investigate everything, assess the impact for the project constraints, and prepare the change request where we would add this into the scope of the project and request more resources or more time for the project delivery. Uh, Second question is, why does this person needs it in the next 30 days? What is the reason? What is the urgency? Why is it so urgent? Can we do some sort of manual report? Or instead of real-time data, can we just prepare the actual report on some sort of date instead of having the live data in 30 days? But can we work towards this um, live reports, live reporting in future? Second, we need to correctly assess the um, effort that it's going to take and resources that we need to make it happen, because major architectural shift most probably will require a huge investment in terms of resources and time and everything. And in most cases, I would assume that this is just the resources we need to spend is nothing uh, in comparison with the value that we get. So let's just prepare this change request together with this stakeholder, and together with this stakeholder, go to the steering committee or sponsor, whatever, whoever decides on the resources for the project, and present it. That's what we're going to do first. Okay. So we tackled this issue. Now let's go and resolve issues one by one. So for the fixed missing transaction data and improvement monitoring, the data accuracy is 85% now. What is the target data accuracy that we're trying to achieve? We need to assess the gap and come up with ways how we're going to reach the data accuracy that is acceptable for this project. Second thing is we need to plan full role-based access structure without disrupting work, which means that probably it will go to phase two of the project or something. So we definitely need to work on it later, but we need to properly prioritize it, and we need POs help, temporary POs help to do that. Next is standard ingestion framework. Everything is done there. So yeah, that's good. The next thing is clear data ownership rules between business analysts and IT. Again, we need a series of workshops with business analysts and IT to resolve that issue. We need some sort of help with that. If I can be a mediator and help them resolve and facilitate the resolution, amazing. If I won't be able to do it myself, maybe I will escalate this issue a well-respected technical stakeholder like chief technical officer or whoever we have in the company who can do the arbitrage or something like mediation between these two departments and tell us what is the best way to do it. So I'll try to do it myself and facilitate this resolution. If I fail, I will escalate and bring in someone to help me with that. For the temporary PO, I will support this person in every way, shape, or form I can to make sure that this person is not harassed by business stakeholders, and I will support this person's decisions and make sure that this person works really well. Okay, okay, that's it. So I uploaded this response to it, and it's now working on the outcomes and new time shift. So let's see what it comes up with. It's still working on it. Wow. Okay, looks like it's done. So I can just reload and yeah. Okay, phase 4. April has passed. Actions taken and outcomes. Meeting with senior VP on real-time financial reporting. Participants, me, senior VP, and business analyst. Key discussion points. Examples of competitors' implementations. VP's real-time expectations, actually near real-time, 15-minute batch updates, which is good. And main driver, a board meeting next month where executives need fresher financial insights. Okay. Agreed on composite resolution. Deliver hourly financial reports using existing infrastructure rather than the full real-time system. Okay, that's logical. That's fine. If this works in our environment and we don't have to do some sort of architectural overhaul just to support that, that's good. We'll manually prepare a report for the board meeting while technical teams explore long-term feasibility. Okay, so we'll do it manually. That's fine. VP satisfied for now. That's good. That's good. Technical feasibility study for incremental updates to financial reporting. Yeah, but basically, if we need to do major architectural overhaul, then most probably it's not technically feasible. Formal change request to steering committee for budget resource decisions. So that's going to be next steps. Okay. Target data accuracy for financial reporting is 95%, and current data accuracy is 85%. What challenges did we identify? Data inconsistencies from legacy systems that have no reconciliation process. Yeah. Some data fields missing due to ingestion schema mismatches. And we have planned to reach 95% accuracy. Automated reconciliation scripts, manual data cleaning for critical financial transactions, and defined ownership. Data engineers fix pipeline issues, business analysts validate accuracy. Okay. 2 more months to fully stabilize accuracy. Okay. And we have 2 additional months on the project, which is fine. So we should be fine. Planning full role-based access without disrupting work. Short-term fix. Current 2-role model. PI access remains active. Long-term plan. Phase 2 implementation plan created. Full RPAC after data accuracy stabilization. PO included into prioritization to ensure access control doesn't disrupt ongoing work. Nice. Governance resolution. Clear data ownership rules between business analysts and IT. 2 workshops to align business and IT on responsibilities. Facilitated discussion yourself, but conflicts remained. Escalated to chief data officer. We have this guy. Okay, nice. To mediate final resolution. Final decision. Business analysts own data validation and requirements. IT owns data ingestion and technical pipeline management. New governance document signed off by both teams. Yay, we resolved this one. And I need to, like, I don't know, buy a bottle of whiskey for chief data officer. Or flowers if this is a girl, which is fine. Supporting the temporary PO in prioritization. Ensured PO has a clear scope decision-making authority. Weekly meetings to align on business priorities. Protected PO from excessive business pressure. Ensuring structured backlog management. Okay. Status update. Cost performance index 0.85. Still tight on the budget and we're still behind. Schedule performance index 0.81. Recovering but still lagging behind plan. Okay, stakeholder sentiment moderately positive. And team morale is good. Less firefighting, clear priorities. So team is, yeah, that's good. New challenges and next steps. Steering committee reaction to the real-time reporting request. Change request for incremental real-time reporting is under review. They may reject additional funding and demand delivery within the current budget. So what do we do? Do we push harder for more resources or adjust scope within constraints? Adjusting scope within constraints will pose additional risks, so I'm not sure I want to do that. Let's see. Okay. Unexpected compliance pushback on encryption. Security team now requires data masking for PII fields in addition to encryption. So this is an additional scope. Okay. Further delays in implementation immediately. Do we escalate this issue to or propose a phased approach? Yeah, we need to talk to compliance and ensure that we understand whether we can do this later down the line. Finalizing data accuracy and reporting priorities. PO is managing priorities well, but business teams now demand even more reports. Do we push back or try to accommodate additional reporting needs? It's not about additional reporting needs or pushback. It's about whether we are working on the most valuable thing right now or we don't. And if we don't work, if we are not working on the most important thing right now, then we need to fix that. If we are working on the most important report right now, then we're good. We're good. Okay. So, first of all, meeting with the P, everything is fine. Satisfied for now. Technical feasibility study. So, first, ask business analysts to conduct technical feasibility study and present formal change request to steering committee for budget and resource decisions. So we definitely need to do that. That's for sure because we promised. Target data accuracy. We have the plan, which is good. Data cleaning for critical financial transactions. Defined ownership. 2 more months to fully stabilize accuracy. And we have 2 more months. So I don't see any issues with data accuracy. We're just doing it. And we should be fine by the end of the project term. Phase 2 implementation plan created, and that's good as well. Governance resolution. New government document signed off. So this is now resolved, which is fine. And PO is working as expected. Okay, new challenges. Need to present the most accurate timeline, budget, and scope. Maybe like project plan, we can with timeline, budget, and scope that we have for now. And we need to discuss this plan with steering committee to understand if they are okay with this plan. So we need to get steer co-approval for this plan to finalize the project. So basically, we were going through a lot of challenges during this project, and we are 4 months into like solving issues on the project. We solved some of them, but we have some new issues arising, which is okay, I guess. That's normal in the life of the project manager. But now, since we are just like we still have 2 months on this project. At this point, we need to review where we are and what can be delivered by the end of this 2 months term. And most probably we're not going to be on time because SPI is 0.81 or something. So we are far behind schedule. So we need to understand whether we're going to cut scope, we are going to add additional time and additional resources, or we are going to hire people to help us. But if we just have 2 months, probably we can't just hire people because we need them to get onboarded, and 2 months is just not enough time. So yeah, I'll just work on the plan and expect, yeah. We also need to further investigate this data masking from compliance. We need to identify if it's a must-have feature or it can be moved to phase 2. So basically, this data masking, if this is a strict requirement that we just need to follow or we won't pass the audit, that's one thing. If data masking is just a nice to have feature or like should have feature because customers expect that and it improves like maybe, I don't know, security, that's another thing. So we need to understand when we're going to do it because we don't have time and resources to do it just yet. Um, with PO, we might go through some sort of Moscow prioritization of reports and maybe move all should have reports to phase 2 of the project. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna do for now. Let's see how it goes. And I need to add some magic to it as well. And go. Month 5 now, guys. We're getting closer to the finish line. 20% of Azure costs. Come on. Reject additional funding, which is, yeah, that's logical. Approve the phase approach. Hourly batch reports already in progress. Incremental data updates only if budget can be optimized elsewhere. Yeah, we're not doing that. VP dissatisfied but accepts phase approach for now. That's not our decision, so this person should not be dissatisfied with us. Steering committee approval of project plan. Presented current project plan with the latest timeline, budget constraints, and scope updates. Outcome. Approved finalized scope and timeline within strict enforcement of phase 1 and phase 2 separation. Requested fortnightly progress reports to track execution. That's logical, that's fine with me. Approved data accuracy targets 95% as part of phase 1 closure criteria. We should be done by now by the end of phase 1, so that's fine. Project now has official steer co-endorsement. Okay, no further scope creep allowed without new approvals. Increase scrutiny from senior leadership. Okay, okay. Data masking request. Data masking regulatory requirement not for internal analysts. Only external access needs it. Misunderstood requirement and applied it broadly. Workaround agreed. Mask PI only in external exposed data sets. Deferral internal masking to phase 2. Nice. So we don't have additional delays and compliance risk resolved for phase 1. Nice. Classified reports must have 3 critical, including customer credit risk analysis. Should have phase 2, 5 reports moved out of immediate scope. Could have backlog non-essential reports deprioritized. Outcome, business stakeholders land on realistic expectations. Nice. Delivery focus shifted to essential reports, reducing team workload. Yeah, that's normally, and that's AI way to see things, how things work. What I would have typically with these guys is we have like 3 critical reports and 5 reports moved to out of immediate scope, right? I would have like 3 extra super urgent critical reports and 5 super urgent must have critical reports and 0 non-essential reports basically. So in real life it doesn't work exactly like that, but I'm taking that because the project is difficult already. So if we can just move 5 reports out of scope and into the phase 2, that's amazing. So we can just stick to these 3 reports and work on them, which is fine. Cost performance 0.87 on track but tight budget. 0.87 is not on track. That's like behind. We are way behind on cost. Scale performance almost aligned with the revised plan. Yeah. Cautiously positive. Okay. And team morale is good. New conflict. And we have this new conflict. Business over data accuracy validation. So team vs business. Business stakeholders refuse to sign off on phase 1 until data accuracy hits 99%, despite 95 being the approved target. Business argument, if the data isn't 100% accurate, it's useless to us. We need absolute confidence before we rely on this system. Technical team, 99% is not realistic given the quality of source data. Even competitors don't guarantee that level of accuracy. We agreed to 95% and we need to move forward. Okay, okay. Yeah. So I don't see any issues here. So everything is good with this issue like steering committee approval and all that. Everything works so far, so I wouldn't solve and change anything there. I would just resolve this conflict. So we have these two parties, which is IT or technical team and business team, and they have 99% versus 95% uh, data accuracy. Okay, uh, so how would we resolve this issue? So first, we need to identify involved. Is it just a few people from the business stakeholders, or and who complain, right? Who complain? Or is it like is every or does everyone support this? Why do we need 99% data accuracy? And what are the implications of so what's the impact? So we need to understand what is the impact of on the project of having this target. Why do we need 99% data accuracy? We need some benchmarking done as well to verify this target. I think the benchmarking is the easiest way to do it. We need to benchmark against similar projects we conducted before, if we have. Or we can do benchmarking against industry standards and see whether we can, yeah, somehow resolve that. But 99% seems probably okay, to be honest. 100%, of course, is not doable, but 98, 99% is fine. It should be fine. But again, um, yeah, we just need to we just need to solve that. Um, so yeah, we're doing this. We're trying to resolve that, and then when we understand what is the reasonable target and what we can actually deliver, then we can try and find collaborative to this issue. If collaborative solution is not possible and we fail to deliver it, to find it, then we would ask chief data officer to step in and help resolve. Um, Also, we need to explore any viable to cut spending and and improve schedule, if any. Yeah, that's all I would do for now. That's all I would do for now. Okay, so that's it. That's our month 5. And it was much harder than the previous project I managed and the game I played. So I like it. I like it a lot. So only one person was pushing for that. Uh-huh. Financial department had historically used 99% as an internal benchmark. What does it mean even? Like, so they use 99% just because they decided they wanted. That's it, right? So competitors operate at 95, 97%, and they want 99 for no reason. Okay, collaborative solution attempt. Agreed on a final validation phase where business teams manually review a subset of data before sign off. This compromise reassured finance leaders without pushing impossible technical targets. Final agreement 95% officially accepted as the sign off threshold. Business formally signed off on phase 1. Yeah, we can actually put 99% target to phase 2 and try and solve it later if we have resources. Cost optimization and schedule improvements. Findings: Azure cost optimization shifted to reserved instances, reducing cloud cost by 12%. Storage policies saving additional 5% monthly. Parallelization of ingestion and reporting work, reducing timeline pressure, cut overall delivery by 2 weeks. Project remains within approved budget, slight schedule improvements, stakeholder satisfaction with efficiency improvements. Final project status: 0.91 CPI and 0.89 SPI. So we are catching up, but we still are not there. Phase 1 successfully closed. Transition into phase 2 with an approved roadmap. Okay. Well, I have to say I was skeptical at first, but you managed to turn this disaster into something respectable. Okay, let's go over the key aspects of your performance. High performing, but with improvement areas. Okay. Strong issue prioritization, conflict resolution, governance and stakeholder alignment, cost and schedule control. And overall 86 out of 100. For such complex project, I'm taking 86. That's fine. Faster stakeholder buy-in. While you resolved major conflicts, some approvals took longer than necessary. More proactive approach with stakeholders earlier might have avoided delays. Risk management. You reacted well to emerging problems but could have preemptively flagged risks earlier. Stronger risk register and mitigation plan from the start would have reduced firefighting. That's actually true. Delegation efficiency. You took direct ownership of many issues, but at times you could have pushed more responsibility to technical or business leads. Maybe. What you missed: minor errors, external compliance pressures. While you solved the immediate security concerns, long-term compliance challenges, such as future regulatory changes, weren't proactively addressed. Okay, vendor strategy. You negotiated ingestion framework compliance well, but future vendor dependencies could still be a risk. A longer-term vendor management plan could have been beneficial. Yeah. I like the suggestions that it provides as well. Nice. Nice. You did an excellent job taking a failing project and bringing it under control. Wow. I like this one a lot. I like this one. This was a challenge, and yeah, this is, and I loved this. I loved managing this project. and definitely areas to improve. I would even like work on that. And of course, yeah, I just completely forgot about risk management because we haven't talked about it. But yeah, I probably need to just start with the documentation that we have right now. And risk management plan probably should have been done much earlier. Okay. Okay, guys. So that's it for today. I hope you loved it. And definitely, I will have more episodes like that one. And if you like this and if you watch till the end, please like, subscribe, whatever is needed there. And if you want to manage the project like this, just like come to me and say, yes, I want to, and leave comments to this video or email me, and we will put you on the schedule and you will be able to play this game with me or even maybe without me. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully, this game will be a standalone game that you can play. All right, that's it for today. Thanks, guys, and see you in upcoming episodes.